I came to Idaho back in 1996. Prior to that time, I had a childhood dream that I always wanted to start a company. It was something that just kept reoccurring.
Faisal started about the same time I did, around 1999 or so. And he started just with an idea of protecting brands on the internet.
Prior to Mark Monitor, there really weren't any companies that were in the online brand protection space. And so Mark Monitor really was the creator of that particular space.
He was able to get venture capitalists from Silicon Valley to invest in Boise, which is actually not that common.
Mark Monitor and Faisal stood out as one of the few companies and CEOs that had a longer term and more strategic perspective.
A few years ago, I was working on various startups and Faisal called me with an idea. He said, you know what, nobody's monitoring mobile apps in the brand protection space.
Avtex is a company where we looked at the online brand protection space and wanted to do things a little differently.
Today, 4 years later, we're probably the preeminent company that manages and protects mobile apps for large corporations.
We were creating a whole new system where infringement was occurring. Some of the biggest giants in the tech industry are here. HP, you've got Micron, you've got other great companies. They're spawning experienced tech talent into this community.
He's been very careful to hire here and find the smartest, best people, and also, work with the community to actually build new generations of those communities through his work with the university and the incubator that he's worked with.
You've got U of I, you've got CWI, you've got Boise State. That's also spawning new talent. Students that are coming out that actually are getting involved in the tech industry. You have to think about there being a collaboration between the private and public sectors, both of them coming together to try to drive innovation. And one of those initiatives, for example, is the Trailhead Initiative, where the public sector came together with the private sector and created the Trailhead space.
We knew from our discussions in the tech community that piece, without that center, we were really lacking in something fundamentally necessary to really move the tech industry forward.
How do I help somebody else that's out there that does have that great idea, and I just need some guidance, and provide that kind of advice to them so that they can actually be successful, because success to them will translate into success for the city and success for the state. I think that's what this city really needs is mentorship and people to come alongside them and actually guide them.
I just wanted to go to hair school. I wanted to do the least amount of work possible. I didn't want to go to school. I just didn't want to do that kind of stuff. And I went to Be Launched and everything changed. As we started going and things started changing and Faisal started mentoring us, I wanted to work and I wanted to help and I wanted to be that difference in my life because Faisal was that difference in my life, and I wanted to help other people the way that Faisal helped me.
So we've got over 100 professionals, young professionals that went through the program, and a number of companies that were spawned from that, and more importantly, a lot of young professionals went on to start their own companies.
When I was little, I told my mom I wanted to be a dental assistant. And she got so mad at me, and she's like, you can't do that, you have to be the dentist. So my whole life, my mom has always told me to be the dentist, be the greater thing. And I never believed that I could actually do something like that until it was, outside of my little world, where I was at somewhere that I wouldn't normally be at, talking to people I wouldn't normally talk to, where Faisal was also telling me to be the dentist.
These kids are really smart. And Idaho should be proud to have this kind of talent here.
Now I'm in school, I go to BYU Idaho, and I'm a neurobiology major.
When you take that kind of experience and spread it out across your community, like those participating in B-Launch, even for somebody like me that was a judge, you get an insight into how important that is
We need to help by reaching into those high school students and showing them what we have here and the talent we have here. And once we do that, I think you'll find that a lot of students will be happy to stay here and work with the talent that we already have here in Idaho and in Boise.
One of the things that has made Faisal so successful is really his strategic vision.
He's able to, bring a great group of officers or, high executives around him that have these connections with either Silicon Valley or developers.
He's very good at bringing people together, understanding points of view, and then coming up with an innovative solution.
He's a person who helps people achieve their goals, and he's a person who's has a very strong ethical and moral compass, and that's demonstrated in his leadership.
When I think of Faisal, I think of both his unrelenting commitment. He is not easily dissuaded once he sets a goal for himself. But what also arises for me is his sense of humor. And I think that served him well.
His desire to understand and know people is very intriguing.
He is such a great people person. He could go into a room and just immediately make friends with somebody.
I think if you have the opportunity to work with Faisal at any time, you should seize that opportunity.
He is a strategic visionary with a profound commitment to his local community.
He's innovative, he's smart, he's strategic, but at the end of the day, you want to work with Faisal.
We're all just richer and better off for his being here.
I love what I do. I really love what I do.